Alright, so the madman at Konami did it. They added in the Adagnister support while Maliss was still the best deck in the game. And if you're wondering what everyone's dooming about, we're talking about these cards in particular. So we have backup Adagnister here. If you've never seen this card before, basically if you control a Cyber monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, so any Cyber Slink monster, wow, what a hard summoning condition. You can special summon this card, and then you can add a Dark Cybers monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can discard one card. So number one, you know what are Dark Cybers monsters? How about every single Maliss name is a Dark Cybers monster? So that's awesome. You can back up Adagnister, add any Maliss name, or you can back up Adagnister, add Wizard Adagnister. What Wizard Adagnister does is, if you control a Cybers extra deck monster, you can special summon this card and then special summon another Dark Cybers monster from in your graveyard. Which, again, what are Dark Cybers monsters? Every Maliss monster. So this essentially, backup Adagnister can add your Wizard Adagnister, and then the Wizard Adagnister can summon itself, and then it can summon back a Maliss name. So boom, this one card right here gets you 3 extra bodies to play with in your Maliss combo. That's just what Maliss needs, by the way. Another extender that gets you 3 extra bodies. Wow. And then on top of that, there's also a boss monster here called Allied Code Talker, which this is literally just an Omni Negate that banishes. So number one, please take, if you're still playing Terahertz, please take the goddamn Terahertz out of your extra deck. Like, please, it is so obsolete. It's not even funny anymore. Like, if you're playing Terahertz still, you are so behind. Like, it's actually looping around like 360 degrees to the point where you're like almost ahead, because that's how behind Terahertz is. Please do not play Terahertz anymore. As long as you have this available now, this is way better than Terahertz and takes up way less room in the extra deck. And yeah, obviously we're also not playing TB11 anymore, because who needs those cards who needs those cards to extend your combos when you already have Konami basically just added the best extender in the game for you in backup Adagnister. So yeah, once you see the combos, you will understand why these cards are. I would say these are not okay, but that's up to other people's opinions. But yeah, so anyway, we're gonna start with the basic 1-card combo to start with, or every combo now is gonna be a 1.5 card combo, because backup Adagnister requires you to discard a card after adding a Cybers monster to your hands. That's such a devastating cost that when you draw 3 to 4 cards in your combo, you have to discard a card. Like, oh no, what will we ever do? But yeah, basically, it's going to be a starter plus a discard. So in this case, it's going to be Dormouse plus any discard. Just ignore the other 4 cards that we have in hand, and just see how much better the Dormouse combo is now with the Adagnister stuff compared to before. So we're going to normal summon Dormouse, and then obviously Dormouse, we're going to banish the March Hare, and then add the March Hare to hand. And next we're going to link the Dormouse into a Link Decoder, because Link Decoder is still fucking legal in Master Duel. And now we're going to use our March Hare, and we're going to banish the Dormouse in our graveyard. Summon the March Hare, and then the Dormouse summons itself back. So this is still the same as before the Adagnister stuff. Next, we're going to link off all 3 of these bodies into a Red Ransom. And then obviously we're going to use Red Ransom Chainlink 1 to chain block still, because of fucking Link Decoder. So yeah, the Link Decoder is then going to special summon itself back. And Red Ransom is going to add our Malice Underground. And here's where it starts to branch off. Here's where it starts to differ because of the Adagnister stuff. We're not going to make Apple immediately. Instead, we're going to make Cyber's Wicked using Red Ransom plus Link Decoder. Because if you haven't noticed, by the way, just FYI, the backup Adagnister is a tuner monster. Why is it a tuner monster in decks that barely synchro summon at all? Well, because if it's a tuner monster, you can then add it off of Cyber's Wicked. So any Cyber's deck can just search backup Adagnister. Awesome, right? So now we're going to use Malice Underground. And Malice Underground, we're going to banish White Rabbit here. We're not going to banish Mirror like in the previous old Dormouse combo. because we're gonna get the White Rabbit banished, and the White Rabbit's gonna special summon itself. Special summon the White Rabbit to a zone that the Cyber's Wicket points to, and you're gonna go Chain Link 1 Cyber's Wicket, and check this out. Cyber's Wicket, banish Red Ransom for cost, still gets chain blocked, still cannot be ashed, and then because the White Rabbit is Chain Link 2, and then the White Rabbit will set our GWC, and then the Cyber's Wicket is gonna add our backup Adagnister to hand, and because the Red Ransom was banished off the Cyber's Wicket, we can now special summon the fucking Red Ransom back. And now the Red Ransom, we can banish our Chessy Cat, because the Chessy Cat is the only name we don't have in rotation yet. So we're gonna special summon the Chessy Cat. And now we're going to link off the Cyber's Wicket and we're gonna link off the Cyber's Wicket and the Red Ransom into an Appaloosa. And next we're going to link off either White Rabbit or Chessy Cat. We're going to link it into the Linkaribo. So that way we have a Cyber's Link on the field. And now we can special summon our backup Adagnister. And then backup Adagnister is going to add us our Wizard Adagnister. And we're gonna pitch a random card to the graveyard that we don't need anymore. So we're gonna pitch this Marsh here because we already used the Marsh here this turn. And then we're going to use Wizard Adagnister. Target any Maliss name in your graveyard. Does not matter which one, honestly, to revive. So we're gonna revive a White Rabbit, for example, and then special summon the Wizard Adagnister. And now you're gonna link one of your Maliss names plus Wizard Adag plus any 2 bodies except the Chessy Cat, and you're going to link them off into your Maliss Q Hardscriptor. And next we're going to link our Hardscriptor plus our remaining Cyber's body, not the Chessy Cat still, leave the Chessy Cat on the field still, we haven't used its effect, remember? And then we're going to be on Splash Mage. Then we're going to use Splash Mage, and we can revive whatever doesn't revive a Maliss name. So any Maliss name of your choice, and then you're gonna link your Splash Mage plus the Maliss link name that you revived. Still not Chessy Cat. Still keep the Chessy Cat on the field, and you're gonna link it to White Binder. Now White Binder is gonna banish your Hardscriptor. Just Hardscriptor. Yeah, that's the only thing you need to banish right now. If your opponent has other stuff in their graveyard that do you want to banish, you can feel free to go ahead, but you only need to banish the Hardscriptor now. And then chain GWC to banish the White Binder. And then the GWC is going to summon back your Red Ransom. To summon your Red Ransom to either the rightmost Apple Zone or the leftmost Apple Zone. And then gain life points, and then the White Binder is going to summon banish the Cryptor, and now you're going to summon back both White Binder and Cryptor. And you want to summon the Hardscriptor into the zone in the middle of the Appaloosa, and then what's more important is that you want a White Binder. You want White Binder and Red Ransom. You get to draw a card, obviously. We drew MTV, nice, but you can use White Binder. It's going to set our GWC. And you want the zones like this to where you have White Rabbit on the left, on either the left or the rightmost Appaloosa zone, and Red Ransom on the other right or leftmost Appaloosa zone, and then the Hardscriptor in the middle. So now we can link our White Binder and our Hardscriptor into a Firewall Dragon. And now we can use Firewall Dragon's effect. We're going to bounce back our Dormouse, and we're going to bounce back our Marsh Hare back to hand. So now we get to add the Marsh Hare back to hand as well. And finally, this Chessy Cat that's been chilling on our field this entire time, we can finally use it to banish our Dormouse that we added back, and then we get to draw another 2 cards from our hand to our hand. So now we have all this stuff, and now we're going to link into Allied Code Talker using our Chessy Cat Red Ransom, and Firewall Dragon. And here, it's important, make sure you summon adding your allied Kotager to the most furthest on the edge zone. So like if you summon your Appaloosa on the left side, on the left EMZ like me, you're going to summon the allied Kotager to this zone. If you summon Appaloosa on the other EMZ, you're going to summon allied Kotager to the rightmost zone. So like the zone that's closest to the edge of the field. That because you're going to use allied Kotager's effect. Allied Kotager, when summoned, you special summon as many Cyberse monsters as possible. So we're going to summon back our Red Ransom. You want to do this because we don't want to summon back our White Binder, actually. We want the White Binder engraved, obviously, to summon back off the GWC. But you need a monster to still point to Ally Kotager to get the Omni Negate. So we're going to summon back the Red Ransom. That way, if we want to negate a monster with we want to negate a card of Ally Kotager, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you contribute one of your Link monsters this card points to, which in this case is going to be Red Ransom, and then you can just negate the activation and banish that card. So, you know, that's awesome. That's exactly what Maliss needs. Just another Omni Negate on the end board that also banishes. But yeah, now we also have, keep in mind, we have March Hare plus 6 other cards in hand too, because obviously, of course, we're going to be drawing cards during this combo as well, and then, you know, we can just set and then set MTP. So MTP, we drew MTP. We were just gonna set MTP off the rabbit anyway, so it doesn't matter that we drew the MTP. But yeah, and then to go to see how this end board would play out. This is like 2 Appaloosa negates, a Omni Negate banish out the Ally Kotager. We have GWC, which is gonna be 2 more banishes because we have the card scripter engraved and the White Rabbit engraved for the GWC, for the MTP. So we have 3 basically banishes plus, again, 7 other cards in hand, including the March here. So yeah, awesome. Anyways, our opponent, let's see if they even do anything, but they're going to use Terrors in the card that I've never seen in my life. Okay, cool. And yeah, now okay, so we're going to use GWC. GWC is going to revive our White Binder. And then you're going to use White Binder. And you're going to banish Hardscriptor plus White Rabbit. And if they have Call by the Grave or anything to try to disrupt our GWC, we have our March Hare in hand to, you know, dodge Call by essentially. And we're going to summon back both Hardscriptor and White Rabbit. And yeah, so we get the White Rabbit back and then the Hardscriptor. And the White Rabbit is going to set the MTP if we didn't hard draw it already. So now we have a banish off of the Hardscriptor and a banish off the MTP as well. So you can use Hardscriptor, for example, shuffle back to Dormouse, and then banish one of our opponent's cards. Then we also have MTP. If we didn't hard draw the MTP, we would MTP banish the White Binder. And then, you know, White Binder would summon back. We would draw another card, but it's fine if we hard draw the MTP as well, because, you know, what we care about is the banish. So we're going to banish another one of our opponent's cards. If our opponent activates a card that's worth negating, we can negate it with Ally Kotager. Also, if for some reason, if this Ally Kotager is spent and you don't want to use it anymore, you don't want it on the field anymore, or if you want to, for example, dodge a Droplets or whatever, you can also chain Linkuriboh in the graveyard to tribute the Ally Kotager to summon back the Linkuriboh as well. So, you know, you just have even more options for disruption if necessary. Or if you're playing a trap deck, you can negate with an Ally Kotager. After you negate with Ally Kotager, you don't have anything else that points to, you can summon back the Linkuriboh from graveyard by distributing the Ally Kotager as well. But I mean, yeah, this is like kind of this is a bit much to, you know, for your opponent to play through anyways, because you know, you can White Binder reset reset the MTP again, and you can MTP banish the White Binder, and then you can you know, add whatever to your hand, and then we can banish another card our opponent controls. Lovely. And then you can summon back the the white binder, and then draw another card. So like I don't know how many cards we have in our hand, and then you can white binder, continue to banish more cards. So I'm just gonna, I'm honestly I'm just gonna banish the MTP, and then we can hard scripter, and then we can hard scripter, put back the MTP into our main deck, so we can use it again, and then we can banish another one of our opponent's cards. Yeah, that was awesome. Anyways, yeah, we're get used to seeing this. This might be the closest we've been to tier 0 since literally Ishizu tier format. But here we are. So you know, yeah. So next combo is going to be either Gold Sark or Malice Underground. Because if you're just doing the 1.5 card Gold Sark combo or the 1.5 card Malice Underground combo, it's literally the exact same thing. There's no difference between these two stars. The combos play out the exact same way. So, yeah, you're gonna start with Gold Sark or Malice Underground. You're gonna either one you have in hand. You're gonna use it to banish your Dormouse, and then special summon back your Dormouse. And we're gonna ignore the other 4 cards in hand. And then we're gonna use Dormouse effect, and we're going to banish the White Rabbit, and then special summon back the White Rabbit. And the White Rabbit is going to set our MTP this time, at our MTP 07. And now we're going to link these 2 monsters into our Splash Mage. And then Splash Mage, revive whatever, does not matter which Malice name we revive this for this. And we're going to link into our Red Ransom using Splash Mage plus Dormouse. And now you're going to use Red Ransom, and you're going to add Malice Namir to your hand. Regardless of what you started with, regardless of if you started with Malice Underground or Gold Sark, you're going to add Malice Namir to your hand. Even if we started with Gold Sark, and even if we haven't used Malice Underground yet, we're still going to add Malice Namir for this specific line. And now we're going to use MTP 07. We're going to banish the Red Ransom, and we're going to add our Chessy Cat to from our deck to hand. Because if you were paying attention, we haven't actually normal summoned yet, because we started with Gold Sark or Malice Underground. Everything was a special summon so far. So now the Red Ransom is going to summon back, and we're going to use Red Ransom to banish our March Hare, and then that's going to add our March Hare to our hand too. And now we're going to normal summon our Chessy Cat, and we're going to use our Chessy Cat's effect to banish the Malice Mirror that we searched a long time ago with Red Ransom. We're going to banish the Malice Mirror, draw a couple cards from deck, nice, and then trigger Malice Mirror, and Malice Mirror is going to banish MTP from our graveyard, and then it's going to add our GWC from deck to hand, which is weird because it's rare that we actually add a trap card to your hand, but like it's fine because we can. Whether you set it directly or add it to hand, it's the same thing as we can just set the GWC, and then we can just use it immediately this turn. So now we're going to link our Chessy Cat plus our Red Ransom into our Cyber's Wicked, and now the March Hare that we added earlier is going to use it to banish our Chessy Cat from graveyard, and then summon to the Cyber's Wicked zone. Then we're going to use Cyber's Wicked. It's going to banish our Splash Mage, and then Chessy Cat will special summon itself. Then Wicked will add us our backup Adagnister. And next we're going to link into our White Binder using March Hare and Cyber's Wicked. And then White Binder we'll use to banish our Dormouse, so that we have something to return with Heart Scripter later. And next we're going to use GWC banish White Binder, summon back our Red Ransom, and then, gain some life points, and then White Binder is going to trigger, summon itself back. Let's draw a card, and then we're going to use White Binder, and we're going to reset the GWC. And next, we still have a backup Adagnister in hand. We're holding this for a while because, in case our opponent has, some random hand traps or Nibiru that they held for a long time for some reason. But we're going to now link the Chesy Cat into our Link Decoder. And next, we're going to link all 3 of these into our Ally Tool Talker. And then Ally Tool Talker, do not use Ally Tool Talker's effect, because Ally Tool Talker, in case you didn't know, its first effect to summon back means that you can't special summon for the rest of the turn. You do not want to do that in this line. Please do not use Ally Tool Talker's effect in this specific combo. We are going to use Link Decoder though. Link Decoder is going to special summon itself back, and special summon it to a zone that Ally Tool Talker points to. So now that if for some reason your opponent had a Nibiru and they still have not used the Nibiru up until this point, for some reason, well, I mean, now we have a monster negate. We have a Omni negate up for the Nibiru with the Ally Tool Talker, just in case your opponent was really patient. They really wanted to hold a hand trap for some reason. Now we have you can simply use Ally Tool Talker to tribute the Link Decoder if they have any more hand traps. But yeah, next, it's safe to summon our backup Adagnister. So we're gonna backup Adagnister, trigger its effect, and we're going to add our Wizard. And then we can just pitch a random card. We have lots of useful cards in hand right now, so just pitch a Fool Loss. And then Wizard Adagnister, target any of your Maliss names in your graveyard, does not matter which one at this point. And I'm gonna link into a Linkuriboh just to put the Linkuriboh in grave as an additional option. Like, obviously it's not really that important, but it's just something to have. And then we're going to link our backup Adagnister plus Chesy Cat plus Link Decoder into our Heartscriptor, and we're going to use Heartscriptor to shuffle back the MTP, so that way we have access to it again on our opponent's turn. And banish the Heartscriptor, and then the Heartscriptor is going to special summon itself back. And now we're going to link into Firewall Dragon using Heartscriptor plus Linkuriboh. And now we have an Ally Tool Talker plus a Firewall Dragon, which by the time we use our GWC, we're going to have a triple co-link Firewall Dragon. And we drew 3 cards, and we're going to draw another card on our opponent's turn. And yeah, we also have a Linkuriboh engraved for if for some reason you wanted to use a Linkuriboh to sack the Ally Tool Talker. That also works. Like if, for example, your opponent goes Extend Aggregator, target Ally Tool Talker, you can Linkuriboh still make use out of the Ally Tool Talker. But yeah, so to go to our opponent's turn now. Our opponent's turn. They're gonna use Hidden City. That's fine, to be honest. And Terrors, I have no idea what that card is, but I will use GWC now. So we can use GWC, for example, revive our White Binder and gain some life points, and then White Binder, banish our Heartscriptor, our Red Ransom, and our White Rabbit. So now we can summon out our Red Ransom, then Heartscriptor, and our White Rabbit. And now White Rabbit, summon here our Heartscriptor and our Red Ransom. And we can banish a March Hare, so we can add the March Hare to hand. And then we can use White Rabbit to set the MTP and Red Ransom, we can just add another card to our hand for follow-up. So we can add our third Maliss Underground in our hand to our hand, and then White Rabbit set the MTP, so we have that banish set up. And March Hare gets added back to our hand, and yeah, we can do a lot of stuff. So I can use, for example, Heart Scripter, shuffle back the Malice in the Mirror, and then banish the card that I do not know what it does. You can set a card and okay, I guess they'll just set a card and do nothing. So now we'll banish White Binder with MTP, add another card to hand. It just we have I don't even know how many cards we have in hand at this point. I cannot count. We banish another card, Worm Yegging, what the fuck, and then summon back the White Binder, and then White Binder. You draw another card from her deck, and then we still have Firewall Dragon, we still have Ally Echo Talker, Omni Negate, and we still have 9 cards in hand. Nine cards in hand. Yeah, so yeah, this is certainly a board that you can definitely easily play through, right? So yeah, that's like the 1 card Gold Sarcophagus or the 1 card Malice Underground combo, 1.5 card. So next we have the White Rabbit combo, and like every other combo, this is going to be a 1.5 card combo. It's whatever star you have plus any random discard, and the White Rabbit combo is significantly improved because of the Adagnister support. It's actually crazy how much better the White Rabbit combo is, and the fact that we're not running TB11 anymore, like, you're not even gonna miss it. You're gonna see what this card does, and you're not even gonna care that you don't have TB11. So yeah, you're gonna start with White Rabbit, and then White Rabbit is gonna set MTP 07 because again we don't run TB11. We do not need that anymore, not for whatsoever. And then NTP is gonna banish the White Rabbit, and then add our March Hare to hand. And then that's going to trigger the White Rabbit to summon itself back. And then we're going to use March Hare. I'm going to use March Hare to banish the MTP in graveyard because that's our only other Malice card in rotation. And then with these two, you're going to link them into Splash Mage. And next, you're going to use Splash Mage and Splash Mage target the March Hare. March Hare because we haven't banished March Hare yet, so if our opponent has like a Bestial or something random and they banished our March Hare, we can at least add the March Hare back for follow-up. But assuming they don't have a Bestial, we're going to special summon back the March Hare. Then we're just going to link these two into Red Ransom. So this is the same up to this point, but we're going to use Red Ransom now to add our Malice Underground. And we're going to activate Malice Underground. And we're going to banish our Dormouse, and then that's going to special summon the Dormouse. And then we're going to use Dormouse, and we're going to banish the Chessy Cat, because that's the only other name we don't have in rotation. And then the Chessy Cat is going to special summon itself. And next, you're going to link the Red Ransom plus one of these other 2 Malice names, doesn't matter which one. You're going to link Red Ransom plus a Malice name into Cyber's Wicked, and next you're gonna link your remaining Malice name into a link decoder, and summoning link decoder to the Cyber's Wicked zone is gonna trigger Cyber's Wicked to banish the Red Ransom engraved. Don't you just fucking love this interaction? And then add the backup Adagnister to the hand, and then it's gonna trigger the Red Ransom to summon itself from banished, and then the Red Ransom, we're gonna banish our March Hare. Since we haven't banished our March Hare yet, we can banish our March Hare to add itself back just for a free card. And next we're going to special summon backup Adagnister. And we're going to add our Wizard Adagnister. And then we can pitch a random card. I'm just going to pitch this Maxi so like it doesn't keep bothering us anymore. But you would pitch the Foolos in this case in the real game. But like in here, we're just showing the combo. So now with these 3, all 3 besides Cyber's Wicked, you're going to link decoder, backup Adagnister, and Red Ransom into a Malice Q Heart Scripter. And that's going to trigger the link decoder to special summon itself back. and here you're going to link the Heartscriptor and the Cyber's Wicket into a White Binder. And you're going to use White Binder, banish your Heartscriptor, and we'll banish a Dormouse just so we have another banished Maliss name to actually use the Heartscriptor with. And then the Heartscriptor is going to summon itself back. Make sure you don't summon Heartscriptor to the middle zone. Summon Heartscriptor to a zone that's not the middle zone. And next you're going to use White Binder. So we're going to use White Binder and we're going to set GWC. And then we're going to use our Heartscriptor to shuffle back the MTP-07. So we have it back in our deck to access with White Rabbit in our opponent's turn. And we're going to banish our White Binder. And the White Binder is going to obviously summon itself back. And we're going to summon White Binder to this middle zone. That's why you want to leave it clear, because this is where we're summoning the White Binder to. And then we get the draw card, obviously. Nice. And now we're going to link Heartscriptor plus Link Decoder into a Firewall Dragon, and this is why we summon the White Rabbit in the middle zone, so that way we can summon the Firewall Dragon into either of these zones beside it. It doesn't matter which one, either you want to pick the left or the right zone, your choice. So the Firewall Dragon is now co-linked to the White Binder, and now we can special summon our Wizard Adagnister, and we're going to summon back our Chessy Cat. And Chessy Cat summons back, and then the Wizard, and then this March Hare that we added by banishing out the Red Ransom, we can now use the Chessy Cat to banish this March Hare that we added back to our hand to draw another 2 cards. So that's sick, lovely. And now we're gonna link Chessy Cat plus Wizard Adagnister plus White Binder into an allied Kotaker on top of the Firewall Dragon, and that's gonna trigger allied Kotaker, and we're gonna summon back our White Binder and Red Ransom. So now we have White Binder plus Red Ransom, and then this is the end board. So this is the 1 card, a 1.5 card, just White Rabbit starter plus any discard. You get to an allied Kotaker, which is an Omni Negate plus Banish, Firewall, a triple Firewall bounce, and a GWC, which is gonna summon back the White Rabbit, which is gonna set the MTP for another Banish. And we also have 6 cards in hand, because of course we drew through another 3 cards during this combo. So yeah, we have all of this stuff. And in order to, if you want to be really safe, in order to play play out your interruptions the safest, you want to use your Firewall Dragon first, because the only thing that this combo doesn't end with is that we don't have a March Hare in hand. So if, for example, if they have a Callback, for example, it would be a lot harder to dodge the Callback because we don't have the March Hare. So you want to use Firewall Dragon first as your first interruption to bounce whatever they have, and then Firewall Dragon should also bounce the March Hare back to your hand before you use the GWC. That way, if you add the March Hare back to your hand before you use the GWC, then you can dodge Callback Dragon. You can dodge all of that stuff by having the March Hare. So now, for example, let's say your opponent does whatever, their extra. Okay, I don't want you to go too crazy here, AI. I just want you to do whatever so I can show how to use these interruptions. So anything, okay? So they're gonna set a monster and they're gonna set, and so we're gonna use Firewall Dragon first. Again, Firewall Dragon. Bounce their monster and bounce March Hare to hand, and we can bounce another card. If you don't want to bounce, if your opponent doesn't have another monster to bounce, we can bounce back the Wizard Adagnister to hand for follow up. So now we get the March Hare back to hand, and now that the March Hare is safely back in our hand, we can use our GWC to revive our White Rabbit. And then White Rabbit, gain life points, and then White Rabbit is going to set MTP. And so now we have the MTP banish set up. If our opponent activated another card, we could use Allied Kotaker to tribute the Red Ransom to negate the activation, to negate their card, and then banish it. And then we can also use the March Hare then to banish the Heartscriptor in graveyard, and then the Heartscriptor will summon back too. So If you don't want to do that, like if your opponent didn't have anything to activate and for some reason you still have your Allied Code Talker negate, or you just want to hold this Allied Code Talker negate, you can still use MTP. And then MTP, instead of banishing the White Rabbit or the Red Ransom, you can just banish or instead of banishing the White Binder or the Red Ransom, if you haven't used your Allied Code Talker effect yet, like here, we can use MTP to add another follow up to hand, doesn't matter which what, and then we get to banish one of our opponent's cards, and then we can still use, I'm not going to use White Rabbit actually, we're going to use March here now to banish the Heart Scripter. And then the Heart Scripter will summon itself back. So now we have another banish. So we had this end board was basically draw 3 to 4 cards, Omni Negate, triple bounce with Fireball Dragon, banish off MTP, banish off Heart Scripter, and if our opponent used something that was worth negating of Allied Code Talker, we would even have an extra space, and that way we could have used our MTP to banish the White Binder instead, because then we would have tributed the Red Ransom. And then we would have an extra monster space. Then the White Binder would summon itself back. Then we would draw another card, so we can draw like another 4 card draws plus like 3 to 4 plus banishes, and then this is what 1 card White Rabbit. Who I do not miss TB11 one bit in this White Rabbit combo anymore. All right, so this next combo is another reason why Backup Administer is so busted, because as you can see in this hand, we have 0 Maliss names, no Maliss monsters in our hand. But as long as we have any monster that we can, any hand trap that we can normal summon, we have full Maliss combo. So Backup Administer, on top of being just an extender, on top of raising the deck ceiling, you saw how ridiculous the end boards are now. On top of all of that, this is also another starter for a deck. For Maliss, which is just excellent. It's exactly what Maliss needed, right? So yeah, here it's very funny because we opened double Administer, so I don't even need to technically normal summon the Ash Blossom. We could normal summon the Backup Administer instead, but I'm just gonna show because you can normal summon Backup Administer going to Linkuriboh, link it off into Linkuriboh, and it would be the exact same thing. But I'm just gonna show that you don't even need another Cyberus monster in hand. You can just literally have something like an Ash Blossom in hand with Backup Administer, and it's still full combo. So yeah, we're gonna start with normal summon our Handtrap, and we're gonna link it into Almirage. This is why we need to run Almirage now. But you go into Almirage, and now that we control a Link monster special summon from the extra deck, that's Cyberus, we can special summon this Backup Administer in our hand, and we get special summon Backup Administer and Backup Administer effect. And remember, we don't have to just search Wizard Administer. We don't need to just add this, because every Maliss name is also a Dark Cyberus monster. So we can just simply add Dormouse to our hand if we don't have a Maliss name, and then add and then discard Dormouse, and now we can go into our Haggard Lizardos. You can go to Haggard or SP in this scenario. It doesn't matter which one. So I'm just gonna go to Haggard since it plays slightly better into the hand traps. But we're gonna go into Haggard. Then Haggard, we're gonna banish our White Rabbit. Our Dormouse that we literally just added and then discard to the grave with the Backup Administer, and then special summon back to Dormouse. And then you can use Dormouse, and we're going to banish our White Rabbit. And then White Rabbit is going to trigger. And we're going to summon our White Rabbit and then set our GWC in this line. Next, we're going to link our Haggard Lizardos and one of our 2 Maliss monsters, doesn't matter which one, and we're going to link into our Red Ransom, and then Red Ransom is going to add our Maliss Underground to hand. And next, we can make Appaloosa, because this card is also still legal, by the way. So yeah, we can make an Appaloosa, and now we can use our Maliss Underground, and Maliss Underground is going to banish our Mirror, and then Mirror is going to trigger to banish our Red Ransom in graveyard, and we're going to add our March Hare to hand, and of course that's going to trigger the Red Ransom as well to summon itself back, and then we're going to banish our Chessy Cat, And then Chessie special summon. And next we're going to use our Chessie Cat to banish our March Hare, draw 2 cards, and then, you know, just add the March Hare back to our hand. Why not? You know, just fucking Pot of Greed. Even better than Pot of Greed. Like, we didn't even lose a card. We just drew 2 cards without even spending a card. And now we're gonna make a Splash Mage, which with Chessie Cat plus Red Ransom. And then Splash Mage, revive any of our balanced names. Again, doesn't matter which one. And now we're going to link into our White Binder using our Chessie Cat plus Splash Mage. And you don't have to use the White Binder effect now, but I'm just gonna White Binder, just banish the Dormouse just so we have extra fodder in our banish file. Now we're going to use our GWC, banish our White Binder, summon back our Red Ransom, and that's going to trigger, after gaining some life points, it's going to trigger the White Binder to summon back, and we get to draw another card, and then get a White Binder, reset our GWC, and then we can make our Firewall using our White Binder and Red Ransom. So this is the end board. Without keep in mind, we opened 0 Maliss names. There was not a single Maliss card in our hand in this combo. It was just backup plus a fucking Ash Blossom. Okay, and we somehow ended up with Appaloosa Firewall Dragon with a GWC, a Hare in hand, and Binder plus Red Ransom engraved. And fun fact, you know, I know it's funny that we drew the Ash Blossom, but we can, however, also go to our opponent's turn and let's say they do anything, wait for the main phase to play around call by with the March Hare. We can do GWC. You can GWC summon back our White Binder and then gain some life points. Then White Binder effect, we're gonna banish our Red Ransom and our White Rabbit, and then summon back both of them. And okay, so the White Rabbit comes back, and then the Red Ransom comes back, and now we can banish any random name just to you know, get some more follow-up. So add back the Dormouse, and then you go White Rabbit, and then you can also go Red Ransom, and we can add more cards for follow-up. So can add back our Maliss, another Maliss Underground for follow-up. White Rabbit gonna set MTP, and then March Hare add back the Dormouse. And here we can use, after doing all that, after co-linking our Firewall, although, like, to be honest, you didn't even have to co-link your Firewall, but just to show, we can use our Firewall effect, and we can bounce our opponent's card. And remember the Handtrap that we just normal summon at the start of our turn to combo with? We can add that Handtrap that we normal summon back to our hand too, and then we can also, you know, add back another card if we want. So, like, you know, we can even add back and backup adding this to even more follow up. So yeah, we can bounce our opponent's cards and add our Handtrap back to hand, and now we still have all of this shit. Yeah, I mean, you don't need me to play this out, to keep playing this out so you see how this works, right? Oh my god, and then banish your opponent's card, and Red Ransom, then this fucking White Binder comes back, and then woo, and then we get to draw another card, and now we have we suddenly have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We somehow have 12 cards in hand. We did not activate Maxi. We did not activate Molcharmy Foolas. We just over the course of our combo, after normal summoning Handtrap, we somehow went up with 12 cards in hand, with all of the usual Maliss interruptions. And we even get to add our Handtrap back, so that's lovely. But no, zero Maliss names in our opening hand, by the way. That was zero Maliss starters, okay? That was literally just back of Adagnister plus a fucking Ash Blossom. So this is what really puts backup Adagnister over the top. Because this is going to be a combo where we get Artifact Lancea, okay? Artifact Lancea, keep in mind, okay? Lancea, the best hand trap, the floodgate hand trap that's supposed to shut down Maliss, okay? What happens if we draw backup Adagnister, though? Okay, so let's normal summon our Dormouse, and let's say we get Lancea, and now our Dormouse does not banish anything, okay? Now what? Okay, so now you're going to link off the Dormouse into Link Decoder, and you're going to special backup Adagnister, and backup Adagnister is going to add your Wizard Adagnister, and then pitch another random card, another card that we can't use because, again, we're under Lancea. And now we're going to use Wizard, target our Dormouse, and then special both Wizard and Dormouse. And now we're going to link Dormouse plus Link Decoder plus either Wizard or backup into a Heart Scripter. And now Link Decoder is going to trigger. God, this card is fucking... Okay, so now we're going to go into our Splash Mage using Link Decoder plus Backup Adagnister. And now Splash Mage will revive our Dormouse. And we're going to link into our Red Ransom using Splash Mage plus Dormouse. And we're going to Red Ransom, and we're going to add Maliss in the Mirror. We're not going to add Maliss in the Underground because we can't use it this turn. We're going to add Maliss in the Mirror, and Maliss in the Mirror, it has an on-field effect too, where it basically is a monster negate, and then it banishes a Maliss monster. So, yeah, this is what we got still through a Lancea. Now, you could, instead of the Heart Scripter, you could have also made an Allied Code Talker instead of the Heart Scripter, although that having the Allied Code Talker instead of Heart Scripter here is a little weird because it means that you have to use your Maliss in the Mirror first before you use your Allied Code Talker Negate, because if you use your Allied Code Talker Negate to tribute the Red Ransom, then your Maliss in the Mirror is like, unless you have another Maliss monster in hand, it's dead because Maliss in the Mirror only banishes from your hand or face up and not from grave. So if you have just Heart Scripter plus Red Ransom, now it makes it you're more likely to not screw yourself over, and you're most likely gonna have the Maliss in the Mirror live. So you still have a Heart Scripter banish, and then a Maliss in the Mirror monster negate, and then Maliss in the Mirror is gonna banish your Red Ransom. Red Ransom is gonna special White Rabbit. White Rabbit is gonna place MTP, and you're going to get another banish off MTP. So through a Lancea, by the way, you still manage to get 2 banishes plus a monster negate. So like the old copium of rogue decks were playable into Maliss because they could just Lancea them. Most road decks, they're gonna struggle playing into 2 banishes plus a monster negate even through a Lancea. And one of the few decks that doesn't mind as much playing through 2 banishes, you know what that deck is? Maliss itself. So yeah, this is backup Adagnister is a 3-of, so anytime your opponent opens backup Adagnister and you Lancea your Maliss opponent, they're still going to end on 3 interruptions, not including, whatever non-ninja they have in hand. So between the 3 backup Adagnister and then the Call by the Graves and the Cross-Out Designator, your Maliss opponent is actually more likely to have a way to play through Lancea than not. Like if your Maliss opponent hard passes the Lancea, then they actually got sacked. They got unlucky because the odds were in their favor that they could play through it more often than not. So this is the state we're in Master Duel, where not even Lancea is a guaranteed way even after resolves. So let's say our opponent does something. Let's see if they do anything. For example, that is a 10E monster. That is a we will go Maliss in the Mirror, for example. I know this is bad negating the 10E monster, but we are going to banish our Red Ransom, and then Red Ransom summon itself back, banish the White Rabbit, and then trigger White Rabbit, and then Red Ransom, get us some more follow-up. And then add Maliss Underground, and then White Rabbit summons back. White Rabbit places MTP. And here we can go MTP, banish the White Rabbit, banish our opponent's card, or add us our March Hare, banish our opponent's card. We can now, with the March Hare, we can also March Hare, banish the White Rabbit, or we can March Hare, banish the Maliss in the Mirror actually, and then trigger Maliss in the Mirror to banish our Dormouse, and then add us our more follow-up for next turn. So now we get add a Dormouse too, and then of course the Dormouse can get summoned back. And our opponent has more ways to play. You can also, you now have the Heart Scripter banished live as well, and also we have a Maxi too. No, why not, right? Why the fuck not? So yeah, they can summon another monster, and then we can also use our Heart Scripter. Heart Scripter can now also put back the Maliss in the Mirror, and now we can also banish our opponent's monster still. So that was still, we have guaranteed like 4 forms of follow up on the next turn, plus 2 banishes, plus a monster negate, plus a yada yada through a Lancea. So yeah, let's just see a deck list now. I'm sure you've already seen me glaze this deck enough through the combos, but yeah. So this is what a Maliss deck list looks like right now with the Adagnister support. It's literally just, it's basically just the same deck. You just cut a few random extra cards, Maliss names, like I cut Chessy Cat to 1 for example, in order to put in 3 backup Adagnister and then 1 Wizard Adagnister in the main deck, and that's it. That's the only addition to the main deck. You just add these 3 cards, and it changed the entire dynamic of the deck. It's unbelievable. Also, like TB11, please get this shit out of here. This is, you definitely do not need this card anymore for whatsoever, for almost like any reason I can think of. There might be some niche cases where this might come up, but like, I mean, again, those are pretty niche cases. And the extra deck got a lot tighter to the point where this is even less justifiable. Okay, Terahertz, this card, 100%, nobody should be playing this card in the Maliss extra deck anymore. There's just simply no point. Number 1, Ally Kotagra is like literally better because this is an Omni Negate that also vanishes, and this takes up 1 extra deck slot. Okay, the extra deck is a lot more tight now because of the need to use the add the backup Adagnister cards. So you simply do not have room to run Terahertz. So Terahertz, definitely no. TB11 probably should consider heavily cutting TB11 if you were a TB11 trooper before. But Terahertz, there's no justifiable reason to play Terahertz in this deck anymore. But yeah, there's like maybe 1 card in here that's not in here that you might consider running, which is Allure. The thing is that I just don't have the space to run Allure genuinely, because I have to cut cards to find room for backup Adagnister, to the point where now I actually don't know where I would fit in Allure of Darkness, unless you want to run over 40 cards, which you can, but like I would prefer not to, maximize my chances of being able to play through Lancea, which is unironically, Allure being a drop card is Allure, even though it's a draw card, is not a way to help play through Lancea, because it gets turned off by Lancea. Most people are going to draw phase Lancea now, so this is a card that you can run. I just don't know where to fit it in, or where to find the space for it. But yeah, the main deck now. So we have like a double Maxi, triple Ad. Like, this is obvious. Like, of course we're playing this. Triple White Rabbit, 1 Chessy Cat now, just to cut down on space, because we have to fit in the backup Adagnister, and Chessy Cat is the least important one. It's the one where if you open it, it's not a starter by itself, so you can just play it just to access it in the middle of the combo. But however, Chessy Cat plus Bishop, or Chessy Cat plus March Hare, or Chessy Cat plus backup Adagnister is still full combo too. So like, as long as you draw Chessy Cat with another combo piece, it still works. So it's fine to draw as well. You just it's the least important to draw. 3 Dormouse, 3 backup. obvious. You know, if you can hard open this, then you don't even need to go through Cyber's Wicked. That's even better. Double March Hare. So I cut down March Hare was the ones I cut down. Number one, because backup Administer is like almost as good as an extender as March Hare is now. And number two, March Hare, I put in like the Bestials again, Bruiseworm and Magnemite because it's not important to hard open March Hare. Like it's if you want to open a March Hare as an extender, like opening a Bestial is pretty much almost equivalent to opening a March Hare. Like they let you extend in the same way. So like opening when playing 3 March Hare, sometimes you would already open a March Hare, and in which case it wouldn't be that useful because you would be searching a March Hare during your combo anyways. So it's like having a Bestial in hand in those scenarios is actually better than having a March Hare, because then you could have access to both Bestial and March Hare instead of just access to like 2 March Hares, which you know you can only use one a turn. But yeah, this is one of the cards I cut down from 3 to 2. Because the deck has much more extenders now with the backup Administer, and March Hare is also like not a combo by itself, but much like Chessy Cat isn't. Double Fool Loss, so Fool Loss, it has more use now. It's not just dead cards in hand, you just discard them for backup Administer, so like it's fine. Also Fool Loss plus backup Administer, as you know shown, is also full combo because you can make Almirage with Fool Loss, so yeah, this does random. This could be, you can run other hand traps in this place of Fool Loss. Like you could run like 3 Lancea if you really wanted to as well. That's also okay. So I'd play the 1 Lancea as a cross-sell target, but you can also just play 3 Lancea if you really want to say fuck Maliss. 1 Wizard, the 2 Bestials. As I mentioned before, I'm running 2 Bestials over like the 3rd March Hare. If you want to cut the Bestials, I suppose you can as well. They're technically not necessary, and they're technically not very good as hand traps. Now they are better as hand traps than March Hare is, even though how mediocre they would be. You know, they at least maybe do something versus March Hare, which March Hare literally cannot be used as a hand trap most of the time. But yeah, then double Gold Star, triple Maliss Underground. I can't believe these are still at 3 and 2 copies respectively. What is Konami doing? Double Call by Grave, cross out. 1 Malice in the Mirror, triple Infinite Impermanence. This could also be like something else. If you don't like Imperm, this could be another hand traps. Again, like more Lancea. You could literally max out on Fool Loss and max out on Lancea if you want and just say fuck Imperm. That's another strategy. 3 Impulse. Impulse is it's less good against Maliss now because of the existence of backup Administer, but it's still pretty decent. I would say probably worth running at 3 copies for now, unless you know people decide on what's the optimal hand trap lineup to run like later on after a couple weeks of testing. We'll see. 1 MTP, 1 GWC. Please do not run TV11 now. I would like, I'm honestly more close to cutting GWC than I am to playing TV11. Like low-key, like pack a lot. I don't know if you've tested Maliss with Link Decoder and Appaloosa, if GWC is still required even in Master Duel, but I will see. I could see, maybe if there's some people smarter than I am, they might find combo lines that don't even require you to play GWC, in which case then you can cut another brick from your deck. We're not at that point yet. I still think GWC is pretty important, and it's like training wheel combo lines, you know, for people who are still learning the deck. And then the extra deck, the extra deck is super tight. Like honestly, I'm not sure if there even is a flex spot, to be honest. Link Spider is like the closest thing to a flex spot, because now we're opening ourselves slightly more to Nibiru by not making Appaloosa as early, but if you just play Link Spider, then it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter to have Nibiru. It doesn't matter if you're not making Apple early. You can still just play through easily with just the Link Spider. So like, you know, you could play this if you're if you want to still play it on Nibiru. Otherwise, this could be Nightmare Cerberus. You know, just out Chaos Hunter. You know, this slot could either be Link Spider or Nightmare Cerberus, but that's like the flex 15 spot. The other like 14 cards in the extra, I think these are all 14 of these cards are now like pretty necessary now. Almirage, Blinkaribo, Link Decoder, Cyber's Wicked. Keep in mind, Cyber's Wicked has a secret effect. It doesn't just search backup Administer, it also has a Cyber Monsters discard points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. So you can play into boards by making Cyber's Wicked and then playing underneath the 2 Cyber's Wicked arrows. And like some people may not realize that Cyber Wicked gives your monster protection like that. So like it does help you play into boards. So, some boards, you know, the destruction based ones. It doesn't help you play into Maliss because Maliss doesn't have destruction based disruption. It's all banishing. But other matchups, like, you know, maybe like something like a Blue Eyes, for example, with their trap card, this could the protection effect could come up. Splash Mage, SP, Lizardos, Red Ransom, White Binder, Cryptor, Firewall, Apple, Axis Kotaker, sick alt art. By the way, I bought the bundle and I got this in my first bundle pull, so that was nice. And then Allied Kotaker, and yeah, that's the deck list. So yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer all of them. I read every single comment, so even if I don't reply to them, I promise you, if you leave a comment, I will read it and I will try to get back to you if it's something that demands a response. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I don't know, but I guess try to have fun playing Master Duel right now. If you're not, like, if you're playing Malice, it's probably going to be pretty fun for you. If you're not playing Malice, we it might be a bit more rough, but yeah.